videographer.
Yes, I think yes, and we're a minute early, Jeannie.
Yay, cool.
Yay.
Well, after I get done talking, it'd be great.
So yes,
So our next videographer is Mel
Grosvenor.
Grosvenor. Okay.
I believe I'm saying that
I
correctly.
hope so. Me too. I was like, okay. She is going to be reading The Lake. We have a published date of a year, not month or day, of
Yeah.
1827.
Yeah, sometimes the I got the dates from the Poe Museum,
Right.
and sometimes they only have the date, the year, rather than the actual month and
Right. They don't
day.
have the actual published month and day. They just have the
Correct.
year. But that's okay. We
Yes.
get a good idea during the year of what might have been going on at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And that was incorrect grammar, and I apologize. But
We'll forgive you.
it's one of those times. I've talked more today to people than I think I've ever talked in the past months.
That's true.
All right. So Mel discovered Poe when she was around 13 by buying a book of his tales from a school book sale. We all used to love those. I know. The
Yes.
Scholastic
Yes.
sales. I was always first in line
Oh, yes.
because she liked the cover. That was cool.
Oh, very neat.
So after reading the first line from the first tale, which happened to be the Cask of Amontillado, she was hooked. Then she discovered his poetry and she was completely blown away, as many of us are when we read more.
Mm-hmm.
After that, she began learning his life story, which is every bit as intriguing as his works. For years, all she loved about Poe, she loved alone. She was late to the Facebook scene, but it helped her meet other Poe fans. That's okay. I
Mm-hmm.
was in the Facebook scene, got out, and then got back in a few
Yes.
years later.
And we have met tons of Poe fans through social media.
Yeah, it has its good
Mm-hmm. It does.
in there somewhat. So she started the Ohio Poe Fans Facebook group.
Mm-hmm.
So she's joining us from another state through another video.
Yes, and we are members.
Yes, we are members.
Yes.
With the hopes of connecting with other Poe people in her home state. The funny thing is, it has members from coast to coast and even other countries, as well as the Ohioans. She gets joy from sharing her love of Poe with others, which is right up our alley because that's why we do what we do.
Absolutely. And
So-
and it is really cool that she does allow people outside of the state of
Mm-hmm.
Ohio to join in. And Mel does a fantastic job of
Yes.
sharing out events that her own group does, but also things that are happening all around the country.
Yeah, she keeps connected. So that's
Yes.
good,
Yes.
because many of us, like Carmen and I in the state of Tennessee, there's some Poe influences, but being in the Nashville area, we have more country music more than we
We
have the
do.
literature influence, but we
Yes.
have,
And a president. Well, a
Yeah.
couple presidents, but one main president right here where we live. So.
yeah, unfortunately, none of our presidents that we lay claim to were actually born in the state of Tennessee, but that's okay.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
But that's okay.
That's okay.
So, without further ado, we would like to interest you in The Lake by Mel Grosvenor.
Grosvenor, yes.
So,
And
excuse
here
me
we
if I'm
go.
saying it incorrectly, Mel. I apologize.
Yes. And her video is really cool. And we're going to check for our sound again to make sure it's still sharing, and it is. So here we go.
In spring of youth it was my lot to haunt of the wide earth a spot, the which I could not love the less. So lovely was the loneliness of a wild lake with black rock bound, and the tall pines that towered around. But when the night had thrown her pall upon that spot as upon all, and the mystic wind went by, murmuring in melody, then, then I would awake to the terror of the lone lake. Yet that terror was not fright, but a tremulous delight, a feeling not the jeweled mind could teach or bribe me to define, nor love, although the love were thine. Death was in that poisonous wave, and in its wake a fitting grave for him who thence could solace bring to his lone imagining, whose solitary soul could make an Eden of the dim lake.
That was very nice.
Very nice indeed.
Yes, Mel, thank you so much
Yes. I
for
love.
that. Oh, the
Yes.
snaps.
Got the
And
snaps.
I
Gotta eat the
love that
snaps.
she was at the lake when she
Yes.
recited that.
Oh, very much so, because it was perfect ambiance.
Yes, it was.
And with the tall pines in the background, that was even because, pine
hmm
trees, especially in our neck of the woods, don't grow that high.
No, no,
No.
not like that. Yeah.
No, because we have too many other, indigenous trees
Yes.
to the area
Well,
that take over the pines.
that's true. And I think our state tree is the tulip poplar.
Yes. Yep. And well, back where I grew up in the mountains of the Great Smokies, we actually have a town called White Pine
Okay.
because we
Yes.
had
hmm
white pine trees, but with the, expansion of people, it's
hmm
gotten a little smaller, but the trees were definitely smaller because they
Yeah.
were being overrun by the poplars and the oaks and everything, and the elms. I don't know. I don't think elms were that popular. But we
Yeah.
definitely had the poplar trees. We definitely have the oak trees. So
Yeah.
anyway, we got plenty of trees.
Oh yes, in Memphis we had a lot of the oaks.
Hmm. Very
We
much
had a
so.
we had a big one in my front yard that's no longer there if you drive by that house.
Yes.
But
And
anyway,
then
as we digress about trees, I'm really glad she chose the lake because I think that's another of Poe's poems
yes.
that does not get as much credit as it should. It's
Yes.
beautiful. It's absolutely
Holly
beautiful.
also gives a nice job to Mel, as does Wayne, saying wonderful read of the lake.
hmm
So, Mel, if you happen to be watching later on when we're doing the share out of the videos,
Yes.
I want you to know that you got some great comments, and we second those comments.
Yes, we do.
Thank you for
Yes,
sharing, and
snaps
hopefully later on down the road we'll actually be able to make it up to Ohio and
Yes.
visit with you. So
I may be going through Ohio this summer when
mm,
Jeff and I take a vacation to New York. Instead of flying up there, we're going to, and this is more upstate at Lake George.
I
We're
was
going to
wondering why
drive
in the
rather
world
than
would you be going
fly.
through Ohio to get to New York? But okay.
No, we're going to come back through that way.
Okay, because
Yeah.
I was like, well, that's a little bit out
Yeah,
of
we're
there.
going to go through Pennsylvania. So we
Mhm.
might want to stop in and see Season and Thad.
Yes.
And then on the way back, stop in and see Mel. So,
Yeah. Especially because if you come to the western side of North Carolina, you can come down by Lake Erie into Ohio and
yes,
Cleveland areas. So
absolutely.
that'd be
Absolutely.
cool. So
And
I've been
lots
there.
of
It's beautiful.
lakes. Lots of
Yes.
lakes.
Lots of lakes, lots of
Mhm.
water, lots of trees. Most people don't know this, but that area west of New York is
Mhm.
not very populated. Most everything is in the Manhattan area.
Yeah,
So
that is very true.
no, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It is beautiful.
Yeah, it totally is.
And it gets a lot of snow too. So anyway, well, our next guest is also going to be a video
Yes.
sharing with us, but